Now that we have our product database built out, how do we go about recording receipts of actual stock as they come in? Now, there are a couple of ways you can do this. Now, firstly, if you view a product, so let's look at letter size paper. If we view, you'll see a list of all stock receipts for this product. And I'm going to go ahead and add one. And let's say that we purchase from Metro Office Supplies and maybe February 1st, we purchased 10 packets of this letter size paper for 2,000 each. You'll notice that the total value gets calculated for you automatically, right? And we needed to replenish stock. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Now, a couple of changes you would notice here. One is that you'll see that we have a stock receipt record showing up here, and the location is general. And this is because we only have one location currently defined in the system. So Teclify Inventory automatically puts any products into that location. You'll also see the summary information is automatically updated here with the stock receipts, and because we've not issued any, we now have an on hand of 10. If I go back to this product list, we'll see letter size paper now has a stock receipt record of 10, and we'll see the date that we last added to stock, and we'll also see our on hand quantity, what this might have been. Now similarly, why we have 30 here, you might be wondering, but that's because we had an initial quantity when we added this product. So that's why we ended up having 30 as our total. Now, the other way that you can add a stock receipt, so if we go to legal size paper, you'll see there's a quick stock receipt add option here. So if I click on that, in fact, let me take a step back. Let me go to the same letter size. And let's say we purchase letter size in March as well. You'll see a couple of things. One is that the quantity to the purchase price, and then 3, the total value gets pre-filled exactly based on our previous stock receipt for this item. And that's because the system remembers how much you purchased the last time and just pre-fills that data for you so it can be useful. So once we've added that, you see this also gets added. You'll see total stock receipts. And if we go to letter size paper, we see a history of stock receipts here. Now within the product, you see a history of stock receipts for that product. So this is letter size. And if I go to toilet paper as an example, I'll see a list of stock receipts for toilet paper. Now Teclify Inventory does come with another useful page, and this is the stock receipts page. So if I click here, what this page shows me is that it shows all stock receipts across products. So if I wanted to see, for example, everything that came into our inventory over the past month or week or year, I can see that here. Like our other pages, you have a column selector. Here we have the ability to see who created the stock receipt record, and you can turn on or off these columns as you need. You can also filter these records. You have a free type search if you wanted to see all the records that were for this week, this month, last week, even last year, this year, you can filter that. If you wanted to see maybe all the office or sanitary records, you can filter that, the record by maybe what are packeted items, what are pound items, what comes in liquid form. And then lastly, stock receipts by location. And again, we only have one location here, but in later videos, we'll go into configuring our various locations. And that's how you can manage all the stock receipts and see the full history within the system. Now, the way I've shown you to add stock receipts so far is on an individual basis, and that might get tedious if you have a large quantity of stock coming in. So we do have a stock receipt import functionality. Now, if, for example, you just purchase a host of items and your supplier sent you a delivery slip, maybe in Excel of everything that came in, you can import those records directly into Teclify Inventory. So as per usual, we have a sample file. And if I open this, you'll see that it has the product, the supplier, the quantity that came in, the purchase price, and then the total. You're also able to specify the date that you purchased it and any details you want to add. Now I do have a pre-built file here for the products that we would have imported in our previous video. So we just purchased these 4 products from Metro. These are the quantities that we purchased, or purchase price, and then the total, right? And you can have any particulars there. So now if I drop this file over here, we have our standard column matching feature. If I click next, of course, validation goes through, and once validation passes, the data gets imported. So we've successfully imported our data. You can view the imported records. So if we go to stock receipts, now we'll see that, hey, the records that we just imported on May 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th that were purchased from Metro and delivered are now in the system. And you remember previously we'd added 2 letter size paper records. If I go to letter size paper, you'll see 3 records here, simply because we just imported another record. And that's how another way that you can add stock receipts into the system. If we go back to our product list, you'll see all our quantities are dynamically updated as we're purchasing and adding new stock receipts in here.